Hey guys, welcome to another fun day in Adventures in CRO. We are going to go over some reductive optimization, and we were having some discussions about just like some easy, oops, one thing real quick. Sorry guys, tech. Okay. And we're talking about like headlines, like Wayne was talking about how he like, just sometimes it's so obvious, right? Just change the headline, like, optimize the headline and stuff like that. But have you guys like just ever seen those headlines that are just like paragraphs long and like they take up like the whole chunk of like, man, like especially on mobile or like you have to like scroll three times and you're like, where's this? How can I buy? Like I don't even know how to buy, you know? And so yeah, they like write their whole life story at the top. And so with reductive optimization, especially with like patience is so, man, with like the TikTok and AI is here, like everybody just wants instant, instant, instant. So now it's just so ideal to be able to cut through the noise as fast as you can and using the elements, whether it's copy elements, visual elements to convey and get into the head faster, right? So there's some elements that people like, they have this thing. Here, I'm gonna start just writing real quick. Let's see, desktop one. And so you get this, and then let me shorten this font down. So yeah, like what I was saying, like, you land on the page and like right away, like you feel like, man, like headline is like, like I said, it was a novel. You got like five different CTAs, 12 testimonials all jammed up and, in the front, you know. There's video just automatically playing. Like where does your attention go? Like you're just like, where I don't even know, like I am overwhelmed, right? Sometimes. I don't know if you guys have ever seen these like busy, busy pages, right? And so and it's chaos. So there's this, I feel like there's this theory where like people think that like adding more to the page equals more conversions, right? So copy this in real quick. Yeah, like so like more info equals they fall into this like more info equals more conversions trap. And if like, people aren't converting, they think like we must not be convincing them enough. So let me add more copy, let me add more features, more testimonials, more trust badges, more buttons, more bonuses. And it's the belief that that will actually, lead to more conversions, but it really a lot of my time is looking at like especially if you look at heat maps and everything. Um, like you'll there's this thing like on like Microsoft Clarity does it. I think like they have this thing called like the attention maps, right? You can just see, you have the scroll depth, which is like way different than the attention. Uh, but like the people who actually, the attention maps, what they show is like what parts of the page they're engaging with. And so so if they're engaging with like a heavy part of the page, then it's gonna be like bright red. And then it goes from bright red to orange, yellow, green to ice cold blue, meaning they're not engaging with that part of the page at all. And that's why if you look at your session recordings with heat maps, you'll see like people just scrolling and they're just hunting for information because like, okay, like just get to the point and tell me what I need, right? And so there's just this layer of like they're overwhelmed, like this is like too much to work out, and pretty much they like say, okay, I'll just come back to this later, and then they never like come back, right? And so it's not like, and there's this notion that we think that like especially with like copywriters that we think that they're gonna read every part of the copy, right? But they're skimmers, right? So we got to optimize for skimmers. And so the question becomes like, is our page being optimized for skimmers? Do we have like copy sections where like they're just chunky blocks and they're not digestible to the eye, right? Or are we using our subheads good enough? Like, are the fonts like, do we have like fonts that are battling each other? And it's just like, yeah, man, this is like more than anything, this is like a user experience, right? And and like I feel like I'm reaching my next stage of like CRO evolution is like, I've been so like probably the last few years I've been like so focused on like copy, 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 right? Like let's, especially in VSLs and TSLs where you have like a lot of real estate to kind of work with. Um, but like recently, um, we're working on this offer right now, me and Alan and a lot of the guys here, where like Alan brought up this thing called like the weight of content on a page. And I don't know if you guys saw this post, but the weight of content is just pretty much it's like how much information are we overwhelming them with? Like how much we just need to give the bare amount of information. And so I'm working on this quiz funnel and literally like I don't have like that. If you want to get good at writing like concise copy, like quiz funnels or like SaaS offers especially, like you got to say a lot of things in a small amount of words as possible. And what will help with that too is also like the right visuals, the right images, to get to the mind because the images can be processed way faster in the mind, right? So anything that like when it comes to reductive optimization, I'm always thinking like, so what is the fat that we can like, take out, right? Like what is like taken away from people if we have a scroll depth problem, then that means like, all right, let's cut some copy down so we can increase our scroll depth, right? Or let's look at the attention maps and move those up so that scroll depth increases. And so this is where like reductive optimization comes in. And it's just an approach and where we ask ourselves, what can I remove that is slowing down the decision making process, right? So the whole point is for them to they got to be able to consume it and because when they consume they can comprehend, right? But if they cannot consume it because there's so much chaos going on the page, then it's going to be so hard to that's why you have high bounce rates and that's why so many people the drop off is like a steep, right? So, before moving forward though, like I said, I did want to open up the floor to Q&A about just like anything in general you guys need help with and stuff. And we can even chat about this, further. So yeah, like guys, like let's warm up. Anybody got a question or anything before we get into the sauce of this? Don't be shy. Don't be shy.
Yeah, I do have a question, Herman here.
Okay, Herman.
Um, yeah, you mentioned something, and I think that's really great in terms of um, basically the weight of content, in terms of, only saying what needs to be said.
Hmm.
And that's something, since I've been working in publishing, like, for a online magazine for like over a decade, came from like news and stuff like that. So I'm quite on the heavy side of describing things, going around it in different, angles, to get, to get it into someone's mind. But then again, I notice when it comes to copywriting that it sometimes, winds up going like I have a feeling that I give too much. I try to give too much information.
Hmm.
So how would you go about this in terms of what criteria do you have where you say, okay, this is too much? And what criteria do you have when you say, okay, so what am I looking at? What do I need to explain to them that they like? Do you even look at it that way? Because I always try and see it like, okay, here's the starting line, and I'm trying to get them to this point, not in terms of persuasion, but more in terms of, maybe awareness or understanding the problem or the value of it, by maybe contrasting it to something like in those kind of measures. So how would you go about determining how much is enough?
Yeah, that's a great question. Um, and so luckily we'll talk about this, but so what I like to do is take every line. So every line of copy, like I come from a copywriting background, and I think every line of copy has a purpose. It shouldn't be there just to be there. Um, and redundant, right? Like it shouldn't be redundant either. If we already said it one way, then half the time that's good enough, right? We don't need to keep repeating it. And so what I like to do is called let's see, I'll pull this in here because I think it will help you. Um, oh yeah, this might solidify the deal for you, Armin. Let's see. So I'll just read this to you. So imagine if every single element on your page, your headline, every section of copy, image, VSL, CTA, imagine they have to justify its existence to you. And so it's like you put everything on trial and you're asking yourself, is this causing friction? And the way we know it's causing friction is, does it create more questions in the mind? Is it one thing I would say, like, we should be asking, like, how can it reduce friction? How can I rewrite this line to reduce friction? If it's not reducing friction, we cut it. If it's not increasing desire, we cut it. If it's not getting a step closer to yes, then we cut it, right? And so we pretty much like go through the landing page, painstakingly and just like ask like and we count the variables on the landing page. So let's just say like some guy Sawash and Umair volunteered their offers to be teared down. But for example, I'm going to count the variables right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I got 10 variables above the folder right here. And I'm going to go and ask myself, uh, what purpose is this serving? And usually we want to look at it through the lens of trust. So when we build trust, we got to think about social proof, credibility, authority, testimonials. Um, is it speaking to desire, right? And with desire, we talk about with outcomes. Is it also like identifying, like, like is it calling out the right target audience? Is it is it explaining a unique mechanism, right, that we need to hear about? And is it creating difference so that when it creates that difference, we can go into, because with difference, we stand out from the rest of the offers that, kind of blend in, right? So it's about asking, like, what is, like, like, let's just say, like, become a certified coach for Muslims who want to have more control of their time, income, and get more freedom. I would say this is like our core promise, and this is an identifier, right? So I was like, okay, this justifies itself. But then I come here, I was like, and I asked myself, does this, obviously, is it, does this image right here, is there a better image that we could possibly use that could convey, that can complement like this above the fold promise better rather than like, we have, women over here and men over here. Like what's the context of these hero images, right? Um, if anything, it would be like I would show like a hero image of, the avatar. So obviously this is the avatar, and I would show an image of the avatar like doing something that has, show an image of them uh coaching, doing online coaching, through Zoom or something like that, right? And that's just off the top of my head. And then also you got this logo, like, here's a variable right here. And you're like, do I need this logo? What else can we do with this real estate up here? Also, real estate is also like white space, you know? It's like how much like we could be adding social proof right here, especially above the fold, right? We can add social proof. We could be doing a lot. And so and we are missing social proof from here. And so like none of this, so one thing that's lacking here is the social proof, right? And so so I would interrogate it and be like, okay, is every line, which I'm going to give you a checklist, right, later on. And that way you can like go through every line of copies. Like, does this line of copy have social proof? Is this speaking to outcomes? Is it removing limitations? And you kind of want to do like, ask each line of copy that what it's doing. You know, if it's doing more than two or three things at once, you know, for psychology purposes, and then that element's like worth having there, right? So does that kind of, we'll get deeper, but does that kind of answer your question, at least for like right now, Herman?
Yeah, 100%, 100%, especially what I'm taking from it, that I'll keep for myself now is what you said with counting the variables.
Hmm.
Reminds me of German lessons. We were very heavy on literature and rhetorical devices. And as I see it, all of these variables that you're speaking that we can play around with and that kind of take their shape based on our special situation that we're trying to write for and the goal we're trying to achieve. That I think that's where the too much and less comes from me. And so, from what you were saying, thank you. I would really appreciate that checklist, but I'll really, from now on, try and really ask myself, like you said, that was a very nice analogy, like can that piece or that sentence, that phrase or that paragraph, does it justify its existence? So thank you very much. Definitely very helpful.
Yeah, it's a cool way to, it's a new, it's cool, it's a cool take on it, right? Because like to me, I'm like, you know, especially with ad copy, I'm like, what purpose is this line doing? You know, you just like read a line, you're like, what did I even do for us, right? Did I even put us forward? You know, so Wash, could I thank you for volunteering your offer, by the way. I know
Yeah,
you
you're
had your hand
welcome.
up.
Yeah, just a quick question around. I love the session that you did last time around reductive optimization, and one thing that just I want to get my hand around is, I always thought that less is better, but
Hmm.
then the first time I got introduced into the AC funnel, and we were like trying to build it as a team, it's just so much work, and it's just get longer, longer, longer. Is there just a different? Can you just maybe talk a little bit about that, or like
Yeah, yeah.
Alan went completely the other way?
Yeah, so the AC funnel, it's the whole purpose of the AC funnel is it's a trifecta, right? It's to attract as many types of buyers as possible. So it's to attract the automatic buyers, right? So like the top, you know, that's why it's like, you
Mm.
know, above the fold, it combines the CPA elements with the and it's a very clean design, by the way. Like we'll get into user experience clutter here in a second because that's the most important part is like reducing clutter a lot.
Hmm.
But so the AC funnel is very contained, is that because it uses three different levers, right? So first lever is that it's very e-com based, right? So it communicates a lot through visuals, but then also at the same time, it allows you to buy really quick without reading like a long sales page, right? But for those people who need more, okay, I need more evidence, more proof, like you told me the mechanism, then you have this optional section at the bottom. I wouldn't say it's optional, but for those people who need just more, right? They just need more to buy. They need to read the story. That's why that third part, the direct response part exists.
Mm.
Now, depending how strong your AC funnel is, like Um, you know, a lot of that section does get consumed, but I did work on a offer where like it did not get like consumed at all, right? Let me actually bring
Yeah.
this up. Let me see. Parity. So let's see. Um, too many offers. Let's see. Flexible. Yeah, this is okay. So like with this offer right here, let's do last 7 days. And this is kind of what I meant by like attention. So let's look at the attention. Actually, yeah, so attention, most attention is red. And what this means, well, here, I'll just tell you this. Let's see, where do users spend most time, right? So the users who do come on the page, you know, where do they spend the most time at? So green, is so like spend more time over here, least attention right here, right? And so if we were to like go through, they might not be sitting. Here we go. I guarantee. Oh, I know why it's broken because this the page is too long because of the funnel. But see this yellow part right here? So it's on the long form part of the sales page. And it's getting this one gets a lot of attention because of like here's what you're getting pretty much, right? It's a book funnel. So it's like triple stack bullets, right? And so this is what I was getting at is that some parts just get the most attention. Let me see if I can find the red real quick. If not, then I would say, these testimonials, and here's another reason why you can do this too. So this part right here, there's something going on right here to why people, I guarantee actually this is a little bit off because of how it cuts off at the end. Let me see. Yeah, yeah. Let me see this scroll map. I think they have a floating CTA. I don't know. I haven't worked on this off room forever. So, but what I was trying to get at is that do people do read that long form page. And so it just depends, right? Like, so obviously, um, click OK right here. So obviously there's parts of this page that get consumed and there's parts of the page that don't. I think this is off because obviously this would have a lot of red right here because it's the CTA box. So something is off right here with how this is being played out. But yeah, like there's elements here that just don't you see how it's like just ice cold, you know? And so that can just kind of give you like a we call them bucket tests where you like move up the oops. Anyway, we call them bucket tests where you can like move up like the parts that get the heaviest attention and move them up further. So um I got a little sidetracked there, man. So my bad. I don't know if I answered your question, but
Yeah, that was useful. I
okay.
think it's just you're trying to attract different buyers, and
Yeah, yeah.
obviously,
Yeah,
um,
absolutely. Yeah, yeah. It's AC page is good because like, for the ones who do need to read that stuff, then it's there for them. So yeah. Shane,
Yeah, this is great, Brandon. But when you're looking at clarity and you're thinking about attention, how do you how do you think about whether it's good attention or bad attention?
you
Because
go,
like they
yeah,
could be reading something like three times, being like, "This guy's crazy," like
yeah,
so.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And so before you diagnose that, you would just go through the session recordings and see what's going on there, right? So like you would go to like what I would do is like go to Clarity and watch all the session record everybody who clicked on the what's it called? The CTAs and see what they're doing before they come to, the CTA. And so if they are reading one of those red sections and then they're clicking the CTA, then that gives me a good idea. But you know, if the opposite is happening, then obviously like there's something going on here. They're not comprehending it or they're like scrolling back up. So yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Hmm.
Clarity doesn't have a tool that automates some of that and be like, the people who actually followed your CTA did this thing before doing so.
Let me see.
Because that would be a freaking cool tool for them
It
to build
would.
in here.
I just
The
don't think
people
it's
who bounce typically read this part of the site, and the people who don't bounce read this part of the site.
actually, hold on one second. Now we're talking. Here we go. Yeah, I think this is more accurate now. Okay. To answer your question is what you can do is you can look at your scroll depth and then you can go to filters and you're able to go to that part of the page, right? And then filter out recordings through that way. Yeah, it's a little, you're gonna have to do some digging, but it'd be worth it because then you get to see everybody who's interacting with that page or that part of the page. So yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yeah, you would just put the scroll depth in here. Yeah,
Very cool.
cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. All right. Do we have any other questions we need help with? Just read these real quick. Uh, cool. All right. Let's get going again. So yeah, like we're putting every element on trial. I think that's a really good way to look at it. And like, if you get in this mindset, then like a lot of good lifts can happen. Like I was working with this one offer and her page was like as soon as you hit her page, like you had like a bunch of like colors going everywhere. The very top of the page was like three testimonials before the headline. Like it was just like built wrong, it was built wrong. And and that's another thing to think about because when people go to landing page experiences, they expect to like they're trained on seeing like a headline and a sub headline. Especially like they do a lot of shopping, right? And then when they get hit with this like especially on other websites because it's not just sales pages, but it's just like even if they go to blogs or something, there's just this hierarchy like these rules that must be followed, right? Because it's like how the eye tracks and everything. I don't know if you guys have heard the F-shaped pattern, but it's like we start from the very left and then we go to the right. Um and her page was just like violating all those rules and like it was just like fat testimonials that like were bleeding into each other and I literally just said like, hey, take what you have here because her offer is converting really good, but let's switch it over to the brand kits because the brand kits and the AC funnel kits are really streamlined, where it's just like really digestible, right? And so we removed those testimonials, and that way people just got to because not even people weren't even reaching the value proposition or the headline, because that's how much space the testimonials were taking up, and they weren't even mobile optimized. So. And then you also got to think about like removing like stuff like form fields, right? Like how many form fields we don't need like, I bring this up a lot, but like a form field of asking for a shipping address when we don't need a shipping address for a digital offer, or we don't need like, hey, I don't need like, your phone number or anything. I just need you to reduction of form fields, right? That way it's less there's less friction to get through the funnel. So so yeah, like the whole point is just like, hey, what can we do to get into here? Let me move this, copy this in. Yeah, so today let's just dive in, like, instead of asking like what can I add to make this convert better, like what's getting in the way of the yes and how do I remove it, right? And it'll be good. Get over here. Yeah, so first we'll talk about like how to spot like visual clutter, which I've been kind of talking about, then like how to reduce message density. We'll talk about like the power of one, right? This concept of the power of one. And then from there we'll have like a full like page clutter audit, like where like I think there's like five core zones to like an offer page, right? Where you have the above the fold and then you have like the sales argument, right? And then you also need the proof, the social proof, and then the offer details and the close and all that stuff. And that's kind of like the skeleton of the page. And obviously, throughout that skeleton of the page, you naturally have these places where you want to agree to the problem, agree to the solution, and agree to the product, right? So we're gonna jump into that. It's actually very easy. So like, so when it comes to, so first step, doing a clutter audit, instead of the first thing I want you to do is like, just open the page you're optimizing for and just notice how it makes you feel like a gut feel emotionally, right? Like, is it, and don't overthink it, like it's got to be like the first thing that comes to mind. So like, don't go looking for like what's wrong or trying to dissect the layout yet, but like open up the page and just scroll like a user like that's never seen it before, and then and just ask yourself like, how does this landing page make you feel? Does it make you feel calm, focused, inviting, or is it just loud, busy, and chaotic, right? Is your brain like scanning like 10 places at once? And then if your immediate reaction is like, like this is a lot to consume, right? There's a lot of clutter here, then like boom, then like, that's our first friction right there is reducing the clutter. So when we reduce the clutter by removing those testimonials, our add to carts like jump 36%, right? Because now more people are now seeing the CTA and the value proposition and everything. So if it feels chaotic to you, you know, imagine like how like let's just say you're working on the offer and like it feels chaotic to you. Just imagine like what the normal, average person feels, right? Because they're not going over, they're not a marketer. They're not like analyzing every argument or anything, but, you know, but if it feels exhausting, if you feel exhausted, then I'm pretty sure like they're going to be 10 times more exhausted, right? So experience the page like a real user, essentially. Scroll, observe, feel, and then like just like write that like how do you feel about it? And and it's easy because a lot of the time is that uh we work on a page so much so often that it's honestly what also helps is if you show it to another marketer and just say like, hey, what do you think of this page right when you see it? Because sometimes we get in our echo chambers where the like we've been working on it so much that we think it's like golden, right? Like we've we got our headline, we got 5 social proof like in above the fold, we got a CTA and everything, and we kind of, yeah, we get tunnel vision. So like one, like if you're either starting out like optimizing a page, then you want to open it up and just like ask like, how does it feel? Like, so scroll through the page itself and ask like, how does this feel to you? Is it breathable? Is it digestible? It's very easy to tell, right? And if you're stuck, if you're very stuck and you don't under like because you've been working on it too long, then have a friend look at it for you. Like have one of the marketers, have one of the coaches look at it, and then they'll tell you. It's kind of like a gut check thing. Like let's see. So it's a gut check pass, so it's just to confirm like if it's a chaotic feeling or not. So that being said, here's some things to consider when we're doing this too. Let me go. So here's a little checklist. So layout structure, like, are there multiple points competing for attention above the fold, right? Um, and these are kind of like violations, right? Or is your eye path is kind of zigzagging around the page instead of flowing top to bottom? Do sections feel out of order? And you're not just looking above the fold, you're looking at the whole page, right? Is there no clear visual hierarchy, right? Is everything like the same size, the same weight? Like things that should be obviously subheads, are they subheads? Are the images that obviously should be standing out, are they blending into all the other images, right? too many images on a screen at once with no context, it's very stimulating, very overwhelming. I don't know what I'm looking at sometimes, you know. Um, Also like mismatched visual styles. Like some people put in stock photos, some people put in cartoons. Like this, like they grab everything. Like they create these AI images, and then they'll have like a stock photo, and it's just like it feels like Frankenstein. And you're like, what is it? There's no cohesiveness. There's no soul. It's like it was just like put together randomly, all fucked up, you know? And so, uh, also like inconsistent spacing or like lack of white space, you know, like I said, like it's things gotta breathe. Things gotta breathe. I would recommend go looking at like SaaS offers, right? They're really good at having space breathe. So I'll actually see, check out SaaS offers that are proven. Um, Are there just like decorative elements that just don't support? Like, is there like some animations going on that are just kind of like, you know, pulling you away from, because the whole point is to get them kind of into the sales process, right? Into the sales process. Copy density, you know, is our headline longer than 12 to 15 words? And is it making like 50 promises off the bat? Like, you can lose weight, you can eat all your favorite foods, you'll also be able to build muscle, and, you know, and then you'll be able to date any woman you want, and you know, just like have one outcome. You know, focus on having one outcome, like the promise of one, right? Because there's like multiple. It's like having multiple value propositions like step all over each other, right? And then you know, large text blocks, obviously, like if they can't scan, like they're scanners. So like you know, if there's important information that we want them to scan, then we should delete those text boxes and then make and just like kind of it'd be almost better to bullet out the points, you know, bullet out the points. And then multiple CTAs, you know, multiple CTAs on the screen where like there you have like, you know, above the fold you might see like, you know, see the demo, buy the product, whatever, you know. It's like have one idea, you know. The whole goal above the fold is like either get them to continue the scroll or to get them to buy if they're buying. It depends on like the product aware like or where they are on the awareness level, right? You know, so they're kind of like you know new to this. Let's just say they're like solution aware. Then maybe like your CTA is like see how it works step by step. But they're product aware, then let's go ahead and ask for the sell, right? Then just like normal friction, like elements that don't support understanding the offer, like the visuals are just like kind of like not, they don't have no chemistry with like the value proposition or the headline. There's no elements that build like this trust or credibility or clarity. Like the whole thing with this thing is like we're trying to remove confusion, right? And the opposite of confusion is clarity. And so like how can we build up more clarity? And obviously with trust, you know, we have social proof and authority, right? Are there any of this like outbound links or logos that create like escape hatches? Like for example, like I worked on this thing and like we would send people to this page and I told like literally is like there's so many like if this is going to cold traffic, like you see how like all this stuff is like coming up. I was like, let's take out the pop-up. Let's take out this pop-up right here. Let's not have them be able to click here. You see here's multiple CTAs. So we cut those CTAs. You see these sponsors, then no customer needs to know about the sponsors or the login or essential techniques days or pricing. If they click here, you're skipping the sales process, you know? So getting rid of those links, like reductive, right? Uh, no, I would get rid of this image. There's no context. I don't like, you know, who are these people? I know they're artists, but like who are they? You know, there's no context here. Yeah. So yeah, there's a little checklist for you to go through. Let me see here. Let's see. I was gonna go ahead and copy. We already kind of talked about above the fold. Let me see. Hold on. Yeah, we talked about above the fold, the power one. Okay. I would say above the fold checklist right here. Like if you want like anything for just starting out. God, where's my mouse? There we go. This is like what I mean by like the power one. Damn it. Where is my mouse? There we go. Here's a little checklist for you. So power one, right? Like I was saying, like so just have one clear headline, one main benefit, core promise, a clear value proposition, right? Supporting like have one supporting line. This is considered like your deck copy or your subheadline, but like kind of like a reason to believe or get them more into it. This is where you could expand on your mechanism. One compelling visual, right? One compelling visual. So like have this like a really good product image, somebody using the product image. If it's a VSL, having a good thumbnail. Uh, and it's just support your message and not compete with it. Have one primary CTA, like I was saying a while ago. Uh, one specific proof point. Don't overdo it with too much testimonials. Like I said, you can overdo it. I would just say like have your testimonials underneath like maybe your first CTA. Um, and I think you can have those trust logos too if you want. Um, One risk reversal. I would say, yeah, always like, above the fold, you need like, address risk as well, right? So like, 30-day free trial, cancel any time. Or like, if you're more e-com, talk about like, you could have those badges that say like, if you're selling a supplement, it's built in like we create our product in this USA approved factory, whatever. You can also have shipping badges. I would say like this is like risk reversal, which ties into security, right? So there's a checklist for you right there. Um, Here's the main thing right here. It's the 3-second test, right? And this is Herman, this is kind of like what you're asking. This is even deeper. Like this is what you should be doing. The 3-second test. So you can test your hero section. Actually, you should probably like test every section of your landing page. Put yourself in the shoes of the customer. What do I get? How does it work? Why should I trust you? What do I do next? And if you can't answer that stuff, then just cut. Like if the elements aren't answering that stuff, then cut them, right? And then let's go see. Let's talk about how to. Perfect. Okay, one sec. Yep. Okay. Let's talk about the bones of the skeleton of the page. And this is another checklist. Let's see. So there's like 5 core zones to like a page, or like this is like the skeleton, right? So there's the hero, which is like above the fold, right? And then we have the marketing argument section. And then we always have like the social proof section. And then of course the product offer details, and then obviously the risk reversal and the final CTA, like pretty much like how do we push them over the fence, right? So zone one, we already talked about this, the 6 things you need. But the marketing argument part of the page, right? And this is not to say like your page should flow this way. I'm just saying your page should have these components, right? So the job of like the marketing argument of the page is like to build a belief, to prove why the solution worked, why it's different, and why it's better than all the alternatives, right? And then when the section is cluttered, is a bunch of like vague bullet points or like there's like futures, like they just put a ton of futures, but there's no like clear hierarchy of like where the futures tie into, right? Uh, I'll show you an example here in a second. And you're usually like overloaded with graphics. So like, if I was to audit it, then I would, is there a clear explanation of the mechanism of how this works, right? Does it connect directly to the main problem? Does it call out why this is different? And then proof. We just need tons of proof, evidence, logic that it works, right? And then with your zone three, a lot of people screw this up when they have like huge walls of testimonials, right? And that's when they become, it's like banner blindness with the testimonials. And so you might as well have like really good testimonials and make them like part of the sales page as if like they're like a arc, right? Like a story, like a mini hero's journey they have with your product. And it should be like, before and after, like what was their life like before, and then what was their life like afterwards, right? So strategically and specifically tie those to the results and details of like the offer you promise. So if you have an offer about weight loss and like, how you can it takes only like I don't know, you eat these three foods a day. This weight loss protocol, you eat three foods a day, and you can start seeing, pounds drop off in the first 3 days, then I want to see testimonials that kind of back that up, right? So like two, three strong key testimonials. And I cut out any testimonials that are like generic praise. Like I love this product, or I loved working with the guru. It needs to be tied to ROI, return on investment. um, Product and offer details. When this section is cluttered, it's just a bunch of like random futures and everything. So uh, when I audit this, like, can the cold audience instantly see what they get? Does each detail like support the buying decision, or is it just like random? Are there clear visuals showing the deliverables and how like each of one of these like product stacks work, right? Are there any elements that take away from the actual main offer, like the bonuses and stuff like that? Um, like the bonuses shouldn't be random. They should be there to address limitations, right? Risk reversals, CTAs, do we have a whole section that's, devoted to the clear guarantee? Is it simple to understand? One, is the urgency there? And then do we have FAQs, right? Then let's see right here. Okay. So in a way, like you can take honestly, like reductive optimization is kind of like, you can reverse engineer, it's like this is like reductive optimization working hand in hand with like additive optimization. So if like something's missing, you can use this checklist to be like, okay, I don't have that. So like I'll add that in, right? And then again, like you want to go and then interrogate each one of the elements. So just by counting the variables, and asking like, does this help with conversions or does it not help with conversions, right? Like, is it just there? Is it random? How does it tie in to if I put this, I see a lot of people just put random images on their random images and random copy, and it almost seems like it comes out of nowhere, and so there's no cohesiveness. So in a way, we can use reductive optimization to reduce like cognitive load, right, in the head. So, Joe, did you have a question?
I was just gonna ask, please, could you share the doc with her?
Oh, did I not share it, Doc? My bad.
Thank you.
Boom, boom, boom. Zoom chat.
Also, I'd like to say, so yeah, I put a question in there like, have you ever like done this process with AI or like tested it to see or like with the
Oh no,
newest
you
latest tool?
can. Yeah, you can definitely put this in an AI and you can create your bot. You could probably take screenshots of the page and be like, what is missing? Or like what is like if I wanted to do reductive optimization, what what can I take out of this that is not adding to the page? Because then that's free real estate for you to add stuff into the page, right? The stuff that would like increase conversions.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, no, perfect. Yeah, definitely. So, like, because obviously the human eye and the human touch, and obviously you've been going through it, doing it for years. But like, would you use it as just to like move the process along a bit, or do you personally just are you like 100% just doing it yourself?
Yeah, I mean like I created this checklist for I think I understand your question. I'm so sorry if I don't, but well I just kind of like, after a while you can kind of just see like what's missing and and I'll do a call about this because usually so reductive optimization is almost like a precursor to like what's missing, like what things do we need to add in here and what things do we need to take away. They kind of like work hand in hand, you know? And so what I like to do is I mean, I can just like kind of like one, I look at the heat maps first of all, first and more like I'll look at this thing and I was like, okay, I know like what I can do right away, right? After when you start doing this for a while, you can just kind of tell what needs to be helped. And
Mm,
then,
nice.
but then after a while, I mean, yeah, you can use AI and you can just, I would just like take screenshots of the page and be like, hey, like how would like sometimes like the fonts are like for example like if I'm trying to go for like a user experience right here, then like I would ask like how can I make like the most important parts of this page stand out, right? Um, Especially if
Mm,
they're not getting consumed on the heat maps themselves, you know?
nice. Yeah, man. No, thank you for that. Appreciate that, buddy.
Sure. So we had some volunteers who wanted to offer up their offers to do some teardowns, and I'll try to do it through this lens. So let me see. So this is, can you guys see this page?
Yes.
Cool. So yeah, like I said, I'm just gonna look at this page like as a pass through. I'm just gonna not gonna what I'm looking for is just clutter. Is there any clutter? Is there things fighting with each other? Right? So I'm just gonna kind of scroll. And right away, like, I see like competing images, right? It's like stuff right here. It's kind of cluttery. Um, let's see. Um, Let me see this. Quick glove. I'm not really reading off. I'm just like looking for stuff that's kind of like a gut check, like it just feels off or something. Feels chaotic. I would say the hierarchy is a little bit chaotic, as in like this doctor, there's not really like a tr seamless transition right here. Like it just like all of a sudden says doctor developed. Um, I feel like this is like in the wrong place. It needs to be like higher up here. Um, because midlife. So I'm getting like and then I'm also like, what else is like, like if I'm thinking if I'm looking at this page, I'm thinking like, there's like, this should come at it from authoritative factor rather than like kind of like, they're kind of like using it like kind of like, I don't know how to like describe it, but like a cutesy vibe, like they have these emojis and stuff. So there's like a disconnect. Um, Fonts, like I would just like, I would get rid of more than one fonts and I would just use one font, right? It's time, like, it's just weird. Um, This is hard to digest right here. Like this would be hard for my brain to register. So it's missing. I would either get rid of this or I would just there needs to be some like an explanation of this. Like there needs to be a better setup. So what it's like there's a huge disconnect between a lot of these sections. Clinically safe, the breakthrough behind intimate bloom, lube. These bullets, I would even say like so let's just look above the fold, right? Like this 5 stars thing, like I would just delete that and I would lean more into this. I would use a better headline, right? This is like from a testimonial, but I would use like a more value proposition headline, right? Let me just sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me just look at this page. Pressure hills were lube, non-hormonal quick fixes. I don't know if this would be good, you know. I might delete that. Um, Deep moisture, gentle and safe, clinically proven. Down south because of estrogen levels. This comes out of nowhere. Systemic HRT. Downside, literally none. There's no context. Applying is as easy as brushing your teeth. There's no, yeah, I would just not even have this right here. Like this would be better to like talk about testimonials and like before and afters. This is good. I would delete this. I would actually make them their own sections because this is like hard to like user experience is hard to scroll. So I would delete this way of conveying this. I like the time. I like what they're trying to get at with the timeline. Rediscovering your sensual self. How have you been feeling? This image is kind of. I would remove this image, use a better image. It's cut off. There's a lot of confusion, right? And then if you look at this is way better. And then these kind of come out of nowhere and they're like worth 27. So it's like missing the context right here. Like it makes me like people are going to click on these. So I would get rid of these. They look like buttons. I would get rid of them. And then this page is like upside down. This is like a product display page. Like I would lead with this first because this is what like you remember how I was saying, guys, like people they're especially like women and men, they're used to like shopping on e-com, they're used to shopping on Amazon. So it's best to resemble their experiences there, right? And so this would be way more effective to be up here and then have the rest of the page. Well, the rest of the page needs like, doctoring. This is AI. The images and fonts, so like there's like tons of stuff like fighting with each other. So it feels like it's like an uncanny valley in a way, like when it like there's no cohesiveness.
What's up, Brandon? I just joined.
Oh, dude, what's up, man? Sorry,
What's
man.
going on? I like to see you're already in the middle of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Good shit.
Yeah, so I was coming at it from I was trying to come at it from a reductive optimization standpoint. Uh, but I would feel here, I'm just gonna give you some notes real quick.
Mm,
Um, I would try to lead with this because this is how people are used to buying. They're used to expecting this.
yep.
I put this at the top. Um, is this whole thing about intimacy?
Yeah, exactly. Vaginal dryness, pain after sex, or pain during
Okay.
sex.
I would Dr. Led. It's not really doing Dr. Develop. We need to kind of beef this up. Helps promote healthier tissue. Um, I feel like there's better benefits you could use up here. Let's see. Okay, this is fine.
So you know what's interesting is like when I look at different pages in this space, to your point, like some of them some of them have a this kind of style of format, I think, where
yeah.
they it's more long form in a way. But then I
Hmm.
look at some other pages and yeah, it's like kind of Shopify style.
Yeah.
And to be honest, when I look at the clarity recordings, they kind of skip through a lot of the middle and they spend so much time underneath the product section.
This section right here?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they spend like a lot of the recordings, they're just like
Good.
reading all the FAQs and the reviews, and then they scroll back up
I
and then
think a
scroll
lot.
back down.
I think what they do is uh one thing is like especially right here, like I was just saying, like from a reductive, I would like just get rid of this and have a
Yeah.
better image. This is super hard to comprehend. Uh, I don't know if and then like it's kind of like a random emojis and stuff. Like it's not very. It needs to come from like authoritative, especially if you have this like doctor. And I
Mm.
guarantee they're not even playing this right. So I would almost have like the doctor's picture and then like talk. And we have this white space, and then I would take what they're saying about the ingredients
But
right here.
also like, 90% is on mobile, right? So it looks different. It looks a bit different on mobile.
Yeah.
But yeah, most people are not. They kind of hover over the video, and then they just kind of skip past it.
Yeah, this looks better on mobile. Let's see. Yeah, I would just have the doctor, a picture of the doctor, and then the quote from them. I don't know if they say poor lady bits. I don't. I would look at
Yeah,
I would look at Reddit and see what the language is there. I would get rid of delete the emojis, remove the emojis,
yeah,
and I would talk about like the ingredients. Right? You're missing like the ingredients part.
yeah. I need to add that back in. I basically I had a more I don't know, more clinical cold page before, and now I've gone too much like full DR,
Yeah.
and I think it comes across a bit scammy, a bit too try
Yeah.
hard, markety.
Yeah, I think there's then it's like there's no I was you joined the call later, but I was talking about like, there needs to be like a cohesiveness and it sounds like there's like every section is like does not like lean or like flow into each other seamlessly.
Yeah, yeah.
And so like, like this goes into the mechanism of the problem, but like a lot of these people aren't gonna know like what the hell HART is, right off the bat. And so you need like do more explaining. Or just like more, it can't just be like drop it in and then like people are going to automatically get it.
Hmm.
Um, you need to like kind of like have like a whole section that talks about like, HRT and what, how it affects the entire body. Like you
But
need like,
people won't really read it. That's the thing.
yeah. And so I would even cut it out, and I would cut these out because it's
Yeah,
like
I'm cutting that.
there's no point of having this. Um,
So question for you is when you say flow through the page, there's kind of two styles, like the Shopify style, where it's like obviously like a brand and they have different sections and you sort of it's not like a story, but there's different sections.
yeah.
Whereas like a direct response page, there's a lot of like it's like kind of persuasion. So
Yeah.
what are you thinking about here?
So it's they should be treated the same. It's just like we're jumping from it's like imagine like you're jumping like you're watching a movie and then all of a sudden you jump like 10 minutes forward and like you miss all the details that like took you to the next like say there's act 1 and then all of a sudden you're in act 2 but you miss all the parts from like act 1 that took you to act 2. You miss like the escalation. And so you're kind of just like jumping, we're just like kind of going into it. And it's kind of jarring in a way.
Okay. What do you think would be the details?
I
What is the
would
full way
honestly,
that
I would go I would go study structure of these similar offers. I'm sure you see these similar offers. Downside, literally none. That's hard. I would probably get rid of that line. Get rid of the AI images. 6 reasons to try like this should be like it's like there should be a section like 6 reasons to try, right? um and I can't like they're not going to scroll through this, so I would remove this.
Well, actually, they do. I had a look. They actually kind of flick through them.
Okay, but it'd be way easier digestion if they didn't do it, right? If you sent more traffic you would have a friction right there.
True.
How have you been feeling? Okay. Yeah, and you're just missing like, the I mean, we got the testimonials right here, but you kind of want to intersperse testimonials in here, and then these free gifts come out of nowhere. So if I was to like, help you out, like I would tell you like, talk about like, the free gifts up here.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Um, and then we kind of get in here. I'll look at which these images to tell you the truth.
Yeah. I'm actually going to change the images. I think they're a bit too, I don't think they feel
Here's another thing. It's like they're not they're
trustworthy.
not, they're not going to like go through them. You want to make it easiest as possible. So I would take this out, and I would try to make these like images like put them naturally into the page, and then have sections about them.
Interesting.
Customer reviews, experience the difference today. Yeah, yeah. It's just a little disconnected. Tons of different fonts, like especially with women, like they kind of like they just like know something's off, when they look at a page like this, you know. I would add, like like some guarantee up here.
Yeah, so it's interesting. I
And
changed the page from my previous version,
this
which had,
UGC that comes out of nowhere, like there's no like you see how this comes out of nowhere. There's no context about who this person is or why they're holding this up,
Mhm.
and you want to like explain. So yeah, go back and watch the parts earlier in the call, and then
Oh, well,
yeah, yeah,
sounds like a good teardown. Yeah.
cool. All right, and then I think we
So,
had, yeah, of course. All right, and then we had, let's see, Chloe. So wash, yes. All right, let's talk about here. Okay, so become a certified coach. Let's just see how this page feels. Serve your workshop seat today. I would say, shoot, a lot of this is like what's missing. We're missing type dates and times. Reserve your workshop today. So Wash, I don't know if this is like a live workshop or what. So I would say you're missing like is this a live workshop or
Yeah, we do it live every week, so we should probably put the date there, yeah.
yeah, and you put the date for sure so they know, yeah. Hours or time. Now's the time to train, and here's why. The world is fundamentally changed. It's more and more online, especially when everyone's being forced to work from home. So now you have the opportunity better than ever to start working as a coach online. Let me prove it to you. Remote coaching is now the norm. I would put real proof. I would talk about we're missing testimonials right here. Like why like show me the proof that people are, you have a high income. Yeah, you have a promise of high income. I need to see like, if I'm optimizing this page top to bottom and I want to make these pages like where people are going to consume, then I would talk about like the ROI that's coming right here. People are more open than ever to personal growth, healing, and transformation. They're actively searching for coaches who understand the faith. Like, show me proof. You don't need to be a social media star. You need tools. Yeah, show some proof about that. You're making every claim you make, you should have a proof, you know? I think you can like, I think people understand this. So you could probably consolidate these into one. So it's more digestible. Um, you're not here for just for, you're here for impact. I'll say like, this is for you if you're tired, if you're afraid, you're a dream, instead of assuming you're here for impact, freedom, and alignment. If you ever told yourself that I don't have formal training, it's anyway fully in line. I would talk more about like what you're also missing, like what they're gonna get on the record, like Usually, so for this section, so talk about like, what the opportunity. You're talking about the opportunity. This is great. And then after you talk about the opportunity, you want to talk about what they're going to get out of like watching the 2 hours, and you need the agenda. You need like an agenda. Telling them like here's what's going to happen, like we're going to go through this. So this happens. And then after that, you're like, this is perfect for people who are, tired of asking permission, afraid to speak up. Rise for faith, join our exclusive live and discover. This is kind of hard to read because it's like two columns, so I would consolidate them into one column. Um, the empowered guy. I don't know how your ads are, but I would have maybe like, have CTAs right here. I think you're missing CTAs. That's great. Save my seat. Okay. Live and interactive online event. And movement towards healing leadership. Yeah, I think the biggest thing that's missing from here is just like the ROI and stuff, and like just like proof that like that's gonna work. Or like proof, like I just need to see proof that people are having success with this.
Mm-hmm.
Um Again, I know this was supposed to be reductive optimization, but I'm telling you, I think what's missing. I would move this up. This isn't just another story, and all that's written for you. I would clean this up, make them more digestible. It's kind of hard because I'm like reading left to right. And then this video, I'll have a caption over the thumbnail. Let me see how this looks on mobile. Workshop. It's the time for you to coach. Yeah, like the hero images. Like so, I would delete the hero image. I would have a new hero image and talk about like I would probably maybe I would like show the event if I could. Like show like what goes on at the event. Let me see. Watercolor live. Sort of like this, kind of like how this happens. Sort of like this feel.
Okay, cool.
Um, it's 2 hours of your time. I would put, yeah, just put the dates. Um,
Which just also, I think you mentioned earlier, just remove the logo and fill that empty space.
yeah, I'll put social proof right here. Put social proof, remove the logo and put social proof. How many people have had success?
Mm-hmm. So we're just running, we just filled up the first cohort. We sold out
That's
the first
awesome.
cohort, but we don't have any testimonials from this because it's a new product that's starting in September. So is that still like good social proof saying we first cohort sold out?
Yep, I would do that. That's good that you sold out the first cohort then. But I would talk about you sold out and then so introduce that scarcity up front. Say last cohort sold out, reserve like limited spots, limited seating. So add scarcity right there. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You're missing scarcity. Built to meet the prestigious global. I'm not familiar with this, but I wonder what I would do is look like if people are skimming through this stuff and they're trying to figure out like what I would do is get the heat maps on here and figure out what parts of the page they're skimming through and then what parts of the page they're like zooming in on.
Okay.
Pillar one, yeah, this is what you need. You need to lead with the pillars up front. You need to move this up front. Backed by real results. I'll talk about that. Oh, well, you do have testimonials. We just went over them. Okay.
Yeah, what we actually put is we said we haven't done this product before, but we've worked with a lot of coaches.
Hmm.
Um, so before I was basically doing business coaching, so I've helped a lot of coaches get amazing results. But this product specifically to help them become a certified coach.
Yeah. I would put thumbnails, like put like a quote on like put quotes
Mm-hmm.
over the thumbnails, and then put click play. I would try to beef up this product stack if you could. Like this random picture of you on here. I would delete that because it's just not helping, you know? You know how we said like, is it helping or is it not helping?
Yeah.
Like what
And maybe
value, you know what I'm
a
saying?
Zoom picture of the actual workshop.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And then like these pictures, what are the point of this of these pictures? So I would just like delete.
Okay.
You see like though like how you like, like you pretty much interrogate like why what's the purpose of having this here?
Yeah, yeah. I think initially, basically, there was no images, and then Kevin told us, okay, put some images that actually show that this is an offer for Muslims. So we just put images of
That's
people that
good.
look.
Yeah, I would just type put context into it though, you know,
Yeah,
put context into it if you could. Like having an image, I don't know how you pull it off, like and this is probably maybe you could ask ChatGPT this, but like give me like brainstorm me some ideas of images of I would like give them your page and then I would say brainstorm me some images that would uh show people engaging what with what I'm trying to sell here. Like that adds some type of what I'm trying to ask right there?
yeah, yeah.
Yep, that's what I would try. And then yeah. And then cool. All right. Does that help you, Sosh?
Yeah, that's helpful.
Cool. Uh Anybody else have questions? It's kind of lost in this chat. Yeah. Anybody need to talk about this? Talk about these concepts? Feel free to speak. The floor is yours.
Brandon, I've got a question.
Sure.
So, yeah, I know you just did a whole teardown, so maybe this is a bit more general. But for for the likes of, for example, my page, I guess just in general, when you're approaching all these different changes, I'm trying to think about what's like the 80/20. Do you think there's like, do you think about it in terms of like certain sections would carry more weight? Do you think about it like kind of top to bottom, or do you maybe think about that like there's an overall kind of sniff test vibe that everything has to come together to sort of meet, to sort
Uh,
of convert?
well, how's it? Are you running traffic to it right now?
I'm running trap into it, yeah.
How's it doing? What the other carts like?
No, no. So for this particular page, I've had about 100 people, or maybe 150, no, probably more, 200, get to the page. But yeah, they spend a lot of time on the page, but there's very few. No one's got to check out basically.
Okay. Um, so let me just pull up your page and then Chloe,
Yeah,
we can do your stuff. Chloe, I just saw your message. Okay.
yeah. If you go to I'll show you the page that did get a few sales in. Maybe you can see there's a difference there.
Hold on, I'm lost. Where was your stuff? Oh, was it?
Um, yeah, just go buyvivia.com. There you go.
Okay, I'll take a quick look and then I'm gonna hop over to Chloe's stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't necessarily want just about my page. It was more just a general question.
So they click here and then you're saying they're adding the cart, claiming your discount or no?
No, they're not getting to checkout.
Yeah, yeah. It's not enough. They're missing a lot of information and a lot of believability that this is gonna work.
Hmm.
And I think it's a lot of it's just like a lot of it is when they do navigate. I think this is what. What was this? Hold
It was
on.
Hero. I
Okay.
mean,
I think a
I've got
lot of when they
a
do navigate, it's kind of like hold on, let me just see this from a
yeah. So maybe go to the other one. If you put 2 on the end of the page, that's the one that I ran traffic to last week and got a couple of sales. It's just
yeah, this
slightly
is
different.
this see this is way stronger. Doctor recommended. It's fleshed out. Doctor recommended, clinically proved. Yes, right there. Helping 3,000 women right there. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. Yeah, boom. Like that's already way different. I would add in like 4.9 stars out of 5 stars, whatever. Try to
Mm.
match Trustpilot.
Mm.
For as low as $1 per day. Yes, like you know how I was telling you about like just have a picture of the
Yeah.
doctor and everything. Yeah, right there.
Yeah, I try to make it more real.
This is more cohesive. This doesn't feel Frankenstein.
Mm.
I would optimize this page, bro.
Yeah, got the ingredient there.
To have ingredients, you're missing ingredients, and then what is estrogen, whatever this, you gotta like explain to them the mechanism of
Yeah.
the problem, right?
Mm-hmm. And then it's basically the same thing,
Yeah, and then like
just slightly different.
this gifts is like I feel like a lot of them when they come to this page, if it looks like this, they feel like, hold on, am I gonna get a virus from this thing or what?
I mean, I don't know why it looks like that. It's just in some browsers.
Gotcha.
So I've got, yeah, slightly different pictures.
Yep.
So I guess what you're saying is,
This is like way better, like fleshed out. I would look at all the your competitors and look at the structure they're doing.
yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then like I would talk to like Hendra, she's really good at like user like flow and breathability, like this
Mm.
page should be the backdrop, a little bit, and yeah. Like this is better, but like it could be a lot better.
Yeah. I get you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Good.
Cool.
Good to know. Thank you.
Absolutely. All right, Chloe, you on still? I want to help you if you need me.
Yes, I am on.
All right. Let's see. Let me just get unconfused. Let's see. Let's see. Here, I'm just gonna look at your ads. Okay, those are videos. Tell me what do you need help with on this page? Let's see.
So we have had probably over 1,000 impressions now. We've had, I think, only 2 buys.
Hmm.
But basically off of Clarity, no one.
Chloe, sorry, you got muted. Chloe, did you hear me?
Yes. Yeah, no one ends up scrolling down pretty much past like the top. So I'm not really sure
So
if it's
they stop right here?
not even like they land and then pretty much no one ends up scrolling.
Yeah, there's an expectation being met. What are the ads that you're running right now? There's an expectation that's not being met here. Like
Yeah. So I actually I just changed the headline to see if it made any difference. But the ads pretty much are very similar, I think, to the headline and to what we offer. We tell them that it's like a $7 product. So they're coming here and they're looking to.
do you have like can you show me your best ad? Like
Yeah, I think I
like
sent it in the chat.
is
And that
it it's in the chat?
yeah.
In the Google Drive? Is that what you're talking about? Or is
Yeah.
it do you have a primary text or do you just like have a text of the ad or something like the primary text and stuff that on Facebook that I can see? Because I'm getting video ads.
Yeah. Let me see.
Because the thing with videos is that I don't know what your hook rate is or anything. So but at least with like the text ads, I can see what's kind of going on.
Yeah, let's see. That would be Rome.
Okay.
Kind of tag team. Let's see. Do you have the scripts for the ads?
Yeah.
And Chloe, what I would do, remember how I was talking about reductiveness? So like, you talk about like 20 minutes here, 20 minutes here. I would just like reduce like all this, how much they have to consume, If you're saying,
So not even say that they take 20 minutes a day.
well, no, I would say it, but it's like you're saying it in two different spots.
Gotcha. So would you
Yeah.
keep it in the top one or the bottom one?
This is a quiet, let me just say, tired of fake food, fake fitness, fake living. Here's how to feel human again in just 20 minutes a day. Um, how to feel human again in 20 minutes a day. So I would say how to feel human again, or I would probably say something like how to feel alive again, like like restore your energy again, something like that. That might be kind of like what's kind of like it sounds like it's just like a weird turn of phrase, if that makes sense.
Mhm. Yeah, so going off
I would
of,
go
because our
like
ads,
here's how to feel energetic, alive again, in just 20 minutes a day by using this quiet reset your body by using this I would just say insert the mechanism by using the XYZ mechanism. Uh, let's see. Here's how to feel
Too crazy that we're giving.
tired of fake food fitness. So let's say, hold on, let me try to type something in. Here's how to feel something like alive, full of energy, uh, using this, using the XYZ method. That that already thousands of people have used to change something like this. You know what I'm talking about?
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. Like endorse the social proof, and best of all, you can start using it 20 minutes from now. Something like that.
Mhm. Yeah, that makes sense.
That's not like the exact headline I would use. Like I'm not like the best off the cuff. I'm no Allen or anything, but like it has to have like this kind of energy.
Mm. Yeah, that totally makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. Backed by our server. Yeah, this guarantee is good. Um, I would go more into the social proof. Somehow introduce more social proof somewhere. Let's see, as featured in.
We do have a bunch of testimonials down below
I would,
more.
I would probably cut this because I don't know if they even like know what these organizations are.
Mhm.
Most of us are taught to approach health and recovery backwards. These images, I would say like these images, I was like what like they're like I know it's like a collage, but and this X, it's very hard to read. So I just now realized there's an X on each one. So, but like to the normal person who's probably gonna like scan through this, they're not gonna get like what this is. So I better just demonstrate it better.
Yeah.
We chase hags. I've been there too. It's frustrating what should fly still leaves his body. The truth is not the good news. There's a simpler way. The truth is not. There's the good news. There's a simpler way. There's a simpler way to reset. Advice that felt like punishment. Yeah, I would kind of go more into the pillars right away. Here's how it works. I'd probably go more into here's how it works, right? I haven't seen
At the
like the
top.
yeah, I'd probably move that up, right?
Hmm. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking after you went over the other
Yeah. Here's how it
pages.
works, and then seeing all this stuff. This is cool. The modern fatigue. This kind of will kind of get buried, so I would probably put like a subhead, talking about the root cause.
Hmm.
Cool. Yeah, without seeing like we're like, but the disconnect though is definitely between the ad and this page. So if they're not scrolling down, then there's a disconnect. There's a handoff between the ad and this page. So I would need to
Yeah.
see like what ads you're running besides like those video ads.
Yeah. Yeah. I do have them, but if you have other people to check out.
They're super
No
short.
worries. They're super.
I do reading no I do reading offers next week if you want me to look at the ads really closer and we can just like that way you can like we can all look at it like you can have everything ready to go maybe
Yeah, yeah, that totally works.
if that works.
Yep.
All right, cool. Yeah. So I do reading offers next Friday and then yeah, you guys sign up for it and then we'll work on it. And then what would help would be like, tell me like the click-through rates on the ads and then we'll figure out if it's like curiosity-based ads, if it's or like how like there is a disconnect. And so that I guess the homework I would tell you with it, or tell you is that like explain like if you want like if you want to chat GPT this, what you could do is be like, here's my ads, here's the top part of my landing page. Where is the disconnect between the ad handoff and the landing page handoff? You
Yeah,
know?
yeah, totally. That's kind of what we were thinking
So
was the disconnect.
yeah, I would do that, and then and just make this more digestible because it's kind of crammed in here.
So would you remove the top part completely? So I actually changed the top. For the tired of fake food, fake fitness, here's how. I just changed that into one line. And I
Let's
think I actually took away the 20 minutes already.
Is this right here?
No, that's the old one.
Let me
Maybe
see.
it just didn't update yet after I sent the link. But I was kind of working on it as we were on the call.
Oh, okay. Is there like
But
a let's see, human reset domain? It's the same domain, so I can't see it.
yeah, so now I have the world is noisy with quick fixes and fake promises, and then it goes into this is the quiet reset.
Yeah, I think what's missing is like maybe like in your ads you're not talking about the quiet reset. Are you talking about the quiet reset in your ads? And then and talking about I feel like there's like a lot of conversate random like it's like four like we're having like two conversations right here or something. Like there needs to be just like a seamless like connection if that makes sense.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, there's like a hierarchy that we need to follow, and right now it's kind of added the hierarchy, if that makes sense.
Yep. All right. Well,
Is there anything that we should watch to get clearer on this in terms of
Yeah,
like the hierarchy?
I think oh, I would just follow like the structure of the like the brand kits. I think the brand kits have really good structure for like breathability, you know?
Hmm. Okay.
Because like it's literally like a headline and a sub-headline, and there's like and then it goes like what is, the it's like an FAQ page. Like an FAQ page is like it's like what is the what I love about FAQ pages is because it's like it quickly answers like everything I need to know. So like, having like sections are like what that's why the automatic clients is kind of like an FAQ page in itself because it goes like what is the XYZ, right? XYZ is a shortcut and that shortcut tells you how it works. And then this is what happens when you start, integrating it in your business, right? And that's the next section. So I would look at structures of pages like that. Um, yeah, that's what I would do. And then
Got it. And,
I
and
think
then
the biggest thing though is like fixing the ad and this connection right here.
got it. And then just take the ad out of the sales page copy. Would we do that or no?
Um, I haven't seen the ad, so I don't know if the ad is like I don't know what parts of the ads are in the sales page copy, but
Yeah. No,
uh,
I mean like once we get down the structure and the copy on the page, then just make ads specifically from that.
yes, the ads serve the page. Yes.
Got it. Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. And then sign up next week for reading offers with me, and we'll dive deeper into this.
Sounds good. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Dude, appreciate y'all. All right, guys. There's that. Does anybody have any last remaining questions?
Hey mate, I made this little website last night. It's just it's for this publishing business that I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, would you be able to have a quick look at it?
Yeah, I'll take a quick look. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a big one. But yeah, if you can, yeah, your insights would be powerful, man.
Let me see. Why am I not? Okay, hold on one sec. Dynamic. Okay, 1 second. Let me copy this in. Launching scalar digital. Yes, this is clean. We build market. It's really breathable. Okay, let's see. Services, publishing, processes. Without seeing the ads, let's see.
Not
Services,
even got
process.
no ads on it. Do you know, like I'm doing outreach, and so I'm just going to be adding this website as a way for them to see a bit more, and then also to be able to book the call through here as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, yeah. One thing I'll tell you is like they won't like hit this button right away at all. But they'll explore your services. Let's see. A true done for you partnership, offer creation from course structure to high quality. Builder next. It's good. It's better for like a warmer audience. It's just missing like ROI and case studies. They're gonna want to know like if this is worth their time. That's all.
Yeah, yeah. I need to add some case studies to that.
Hmm. There's a good VSL that I wrote for I'll give you this VSL. Let me see if I can find it. For publishing. Let me see.
You legend.
Any VSL? Maybe that's it. Damn it. Damn it. I know, dude, I cuss too much. It's Alan's fault. Let's see. Where is this VSL? Oh, wait, there we go. Hold on. Where was that? Here we go. Yeah, look at this VSL that we did. We got a bunch of calls on this. So yeah, swipe
Thank,
this and put your stuff in if you want.
thank you so much. Appreciate it, brother.
Yep.
Have you shared that link in here yet? Oh yeah, thank you.
Yep. There you go.
Cheers, mate.
Of course. All right, guys.
Top weekend.
All right. Well, that was another fun day of CRO adventures. Next week, of course. Next week we're doing reading offers, so we'll get that in. Me and Charles finished up my course, so that's great. So we just got to edit them now, and create new slides, but that's fun. So yeah, guys, a lot of great stuff. Things are moving along, and if you guys need anything else, just let me know. And other than that, have a great weekend, guys. Peace. It's been a pleasure.